Van D, a dynamic leader with decades of experience building companies and crushing sales. He's been there and done that.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Van D.
Inspiring audiences across the country to do it too. Here's Van.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Van D podcast. I'm your humble host, Van D, along with the world's greatest producer, is Dylan. Thank you, Dylan. I'm glad you're here today because if you weren't, this wouldn't happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited about this podcast because, as you know, with all my podcasts, I speak from my heart. I speak from experiences. I speak from failures, and I speak from victories. And that's one thing you know for sure you get with me is you get the real, organic, authentic deal. Not somebody that hopes that they can get there. I've been there and I've done that. I'm going to share it all with you because I want you to get there and fulfill all your dreams, whatever your definition of success is. But ladies and gentlemen, nothing starts ever without believing you can. If you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. Now, I know all of you are saying, hey, that's Napoleon Hill. And you're exactly right. Napoleon Hill made this statement in his book, Think and Grow Rich, way back in 1937. And by the way, if any of you have comments that you'd like to make about the way I feel about Think and Grow Rich and Napoleon Hill, you can always get me at van@vandeeb.com. I'd love to get your email. So the first time I read this book was back in 1983. Now, how can I read when I'm not even born yet? No, I'm just kidding. But yes, 1983 when I started my career in real estate, and I only had $500 to my name. The statement, if you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it, made sense to me then, and it still does today. Now, let me tell you what Norman Vincent Peale says about believing. Believe in yourself. Have faith in your abilities. Without a humble but reasonable confidence in your own powers, you cannot be successful or happy. Now, I want to tell you something. When you start out your life, your career, with no money, you better believe you can, or it's going to be a really tough road. My biggest asset has always been my belief that I can do whatever I set my mind to. And I can proudly say I did and I still am. But my goal is to help you believe that you can. I have spent literally the majority of my life not just proving people wrong, but mostly proving myself right. You know, there is some motivation in proving your other people wrong that don't think you have the ability, don't think you can do it. He's not good enough. He'll never build this company. There's some satisfaction and motivation into having naysayers, and I think it's healthy. But there's nothing more liberating than to prove yourself right. It is liberating to believe in yourself, obviously, instead of depending on others to motivate, inspire, empower you. However, to believe in yourself, you have to have three things in my book. Now, you know, you can say you have to have 20 things, but let's keep it simple. In order to believe you can in anything you set your mind to, you first got to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you can't expect other people to love you or do business with you. So whatever you've got to do to make you love yourself more, and that's all, everybody's unique. Maybe you quit smoking. Maybe you lose weight. Maybe you get in better shape. Maybe you look different. Maybe you dress different. What do you got to do to love yourself? Honestly, no one can do that for you. close your eyes and say, what do I have to do to really love myself? Because I want to tell you something. In believing you can, that's number one. You can't go through life not being happy with who you are. And don't beat yourself up. Just find things about yourself that you don't love and eliminate them. Second, you have to eliminate any negative influences in your life. This is huge in believing that you can. You have to eliminate any negative influences in your life. And that could be overindulgence is a negative influence. Too much alcohol, too much drugs. Anything that has a negative influence. If something is keeping you from getting up in the morning saying, I'm going to kick some ass today, then it's a negative influence. If you can't wake up and say, today is going to be a great day, I'm going to make something happen, then whatever you did the night before was a negative influence. And you know what a negative influence mostly is in your life? It's humans. It's people. Stay far, far, far away from negative and unsupportive people. And we probably all have plenty of that. I mean, I do. I've got family members that'll sit across the room from you, and you know they're just sitting there judging you and being critical. And you better not tell them all the great things you're doing, because then they won't even like you even more. Stay away from those people. It's okay to be with them, but I wouldn't spend too much time with people that are unsupportive or negative influences. Now, third is a lot like what I said. Number one, you got to love yourself. But third, you have to take care of yourself. Anything you can think of that is going to boost your self-confidence, you have to do it. It may be, like I said, eating better, being more physically fit, having a happier mindset, getting rid of negativity. So let me recap these 3 simple things. And like I said, you may come up with 10. You got to love yourself. You got to eliminate negative influences. And you got to take care of yourself. Because the more you take care of yourself, the more self-confidence you're going to have. Venus Williams, who most of you know, well accomplished beyond the word accomplished in the tennis world. She says, some people say I have attitude. Maybe I do, but I think you have to. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. That makes you a winner right there. How true is that? I believe that half the battle is fought in life by just believing in yourself. Theodore Roosevelt says, believe you can, and you are halfway there. Stay true to yourself, trust yourself, and believe that you can. That's how you will succeed at anything. When we are completely honest with ourselves, it is easy to start, and it's easy to believe in it. Now, integrity is essential. Without it, one can't truly believe in or trust themselves. Confidence comes from staying true to ourselves. It's not always the external voices. Sometimes it's our own internal voice that demand more answers from us. There's one memorable quote that I want to share with you from Aristotle. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. So what this tells me, ladies and gentlemen, is don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to your potential. Don't compare yourself to other people and what they've done and, hey, they've got this and they've done this and you haven't. No, use it as motivation, but don't compare yourself to them. Remember, believing you can do anything has a lot to do with confidence. If you're not a confident person, then we've got to figure out ways to help you gain the confidence that you were naturally born with. Remember, you've heard me say this over and over on my episodes, on my podcast. People gravitate to those of us who are confident. And they gravitate to us when we have a strong work ethic and are passionate about what we're trying to accomplish. You can change the course of your life today by making a decision to believe you can. Gold of my ear, she says, trust yourself. Create the type of self that you will be happy to live with all your life. Make the most of yourself by fanning the tiny inner sparks of possibility into flames of achievement. I truly believe that God, which is why we're here, wants each of us to be the best we possibly can be while we're here on this earth. Why would anybody want to be on this earth if we're not trying to be the best we can be? Why? Because we are working hard to become the best version of ourselves. When we do this, we will encourage everyone that we come across to be the best that they can possibly be. That is true empowerment. When you believe you can, there's a lot of things that have to come into play. We have to have the ability to want to be the best we can. And our best is good enough. We don't compare our best to somebody else's best. Our best is our best. Confidence. The more we try to be really the best version of ourselves, the more confidence we're going to gain. Just watch and you'll see what I mean. Let me tell you something. I started out with $500 in my pocket. I had no money, and I didn't come from a family with money that I could call up to say, hey, I'm broke. Send me some money. So I needed to be productive and successful right away. When I first got in real estate, a little lesson in believing you can. And a lot of you that have been to my speeches and in my audiences throughout the country, you've heard me tell you this story, and I'm going to tell you again. My first job interview. I heard this home builder was hiring. I was 23 years old. I heard all these great things about this incredible home builder in Dallas, Texas called Pulte Homes, national home builder. They had 250 salespeople. They had subdivisions all over Dallas-Fort Worth. I knew nothing about real estate. I called them up, and I heard that people in real estate can become very successful, that hard workers can, just like in any career. But I wanted to give this a shot. They said, we're not hiring, but you can send in your resume. Well, instead of accepting that, I went to a consignment store and I bought a suit for $75. Thank God it fit because I couldn't afford to pay for tailoring. I went to the headquarters of Pulte Homes. I brought a resume with me that I put together the night before, and I've never done a resume, and I know this dates me, but we had no internet in 1983. So I didn't have any resources to look up and see how to do a resume correctly. Went in, saw the front desk receptionist. I said, can I please see one of your 4 area managers? And the lady said, do you have an appointment? I said, no, ma'am, I don't. She goes, well, I'm sorry, we only go by appointment. And I said, please, all I want to do is just say hi to one of the 4 managers. I know I don't have an appointment. I'd come all the way here. If I could just meet one, I'd be grateful. So the receptionist was wonderful. She goes, have a seat in the lobby, and if somebody gets free, I can't guarantee anything. Well, 3 hours later, I'm still in the lobby, and some tall, very intimidating woman dressed to the nines comes around the corner, has my resume in her hand. She goes, are you Van Dieb? And I said, yes, I am. And she said, come on back. And I was thrilled to death that I got to visit with one of these 4 managers. So I'm just going to give you a quickie on this conversation. She's reading my resume, but she says, what makes you think you can sell real estate? Now, I want you to hear the whole story from this interview, but you're going to have to wait until you guys hire me or you have me be your coach, and I'll tell you the whole story. But let me just tell you this part. Mr. Deeb, what makes you think you can sell real estate? Now, you're talking to a guy that's never, ever sold real estate and has no clue. I just know that they can do well financially. So my response when she goes, what makes you think you can sell real estate? I looked at her and I said, Miss King, her name is Emma King. I am so confident that I can do this. If I'm not your number one salesman, in 90 days, you can fire me or I'll quit. And this woman kind of sat back in her chair and got this look on her face like, who is this guy? But let me tell you something. If I didn't feel that way about myself, what am I doing in that chair? Why am I on that job interview? If I don't feel that confident, then why would I be there in the first place? I believed I could. Long story short, without getting into the whole interview, I was hired where they weren't accepting any new employees at the time, but I got hired because I believed I could do the job. Was I the number one salesman in 3 months? Heck no. Did they fire me? No. Did I quit? No. Following year, I was the number one salesman. I believed I could, so I did. Like I said, I believe that God wants each of us to be the best we possibly can while we're here on this earth. If we believe it, we can achieve it. We have to conceive it first. Napoleon Hill. Why not? Why not make bold statements? I believe I can. I believe I can be number one. Lou Holt says, ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do. Attitude determines how well you do it. We all have an attitude. Why not make it a positive one? Why not be motivated? We're going to have an attitude anyway. Why not make it work for you? I want to ask you to do something for me. I challenge all of you to say these words right now of affirmation out loud, and I want you to say it as much as you possibly can. Just like I pray out loud, I'm asking you to say these out loud. I believe I can. I believe I can. I believe I can, and I will. Just say those as often as you can. Watch what you bring into your life. Watch what you manifest. Believing in yourself is extremely exciting because when you choose to believe you can accomplish anything, you will open up more doors. More opportunities will come to you and be attainable. Trust me on this. In 1983, when I took a straight commission job selling real estate, I had to dig deep to believe in myself. When your income is not guaranteed, boy, I want to tell you something. You better believe in yourself. There's so many things that go into this. If you ever have an opportunity to suggest to somebody to hire me to come speak to your group, an event, your company, I want to talk to you more about how you can change your whole mindset in one day about believing you can. Now remember something. You got to stay around like-minded people to help you continue to believe in yourself. Iron sharpens iron. Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. I strongly believe in the power of asking God to give you the ability to utilize all the talent that he gave you. I also believe in visualization because when you visualize something, to me, it's just a matter of time until you bring it into your life. Visualization and manifestation are two sides of the same thing. The more you visualize what you want and what you are going to accomplish, the more you will manifest great opportunities in your life. When you visualize your own success, you will also bring the right people into your life. I would be thrilled to coach you on how to implement visualization into your life. Stay in touch with me. Send me an email, van@vandeeb.com. I'm here to help. Start now. Start today by doing everything in your power to believe you can. No one can do that for you. You have to make the decision. And I'm going to go back real quick to remind you, in order to believe you can do it, you got to love yourself, number one. Number two, stay away from, eliminate any negative influences. And number three, do what you got to do to take care of yourself, to build your self-confidence. Start now. I know that you believe you can. Don't go through this life renting space. Own your life. You're not a guest here. You own it. If you need someone to coach you who has been there and done that, I'm here for you. I've been there. I help people with their goals, and we make it a reality. I'm here for you. Believe you can and you will. Please share this podcast. Somebody needs to hear that they believe that you believe in them. I'm grateful for you being here today. Please subscribe to this podcast so you get all of mine every month when they come out right in your inbox. Subscribe to this podcast. Share it with people. Check out all my other episodes. Connect with me at vandeeb.com. Sign up for my newsletters. I want to help you get to where you want to go, and I can help you get there faster. So grateful for you tuning in to the Van Deeb Podcast. Have a great day.
A Hurrdat Media Production.